maybe when you look back at the deadline last year and you look at this winter, maybe not last winter, but I think even last winter, but if you look at the last couple of transaction cycles, which is the winter and the trade deadline, there hasn't been a lot of that traditional one team trades young prospects, the other team trades proven veterans kind of move. And I think that extra wild card is at least part of the reason that's happening right now, and part of the reason why this winter has been so dead. I'm interested to get your take on that. Do you like the extra wild card? Do you see negatives in it with so many teams getting into the postseason? We know that there are positive. Let's start with you, JB.
The extra wild card to me, the positive is that it keeps more fan bases engaged longer. Right, that's a revenue deal. It's more people, more teams in the play. All things that go with it. NBA model, NFL model, same thing. It's spread a little bit. The negative is, in my mind, it reduces the incentive to put your club over the top. It rewards and I apologize to both of you in advance for what I'm about to say. It rewards the 54% mentality. Right, and if that's the mentality that it rewards, then it doesn't help you push to win. Being mediocre and just okay is good enough. And anytime you're in sports and being just good enough is what you're shooting for, you're probably doing the wrong thing, right? You need to shoot to win, and nowhere has experienced that more. Actually, and this is probably a very factual, real statement at this point, than the area of Seattle, because there's really never been a winner, right? I mean, there's been some playoff teams, never been a winner, and it seems like every time you get close, the eject handle gets pulled, and it doesn't matter who the owner is, just it does, and it goes the other way, and it becomes something that mediocre is good enough to keep the fans engaged, but we're not really going to win. And if we get in and do a little bit, great. And that happened. That was last year, right? They got in. It was last year. Yeah,
22. Yep, after the 22.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not. The extra wild card, I get where they're doing it from a revenue model. It's a revenue. I get it. But from a competitiveness standpoint, it removes the incentive to make the big moves and spend the money, because just good enough gets you in now, right?
The whole system, though, JB, rewards mediocrity, because even if you told me like a Pittsburgh Pirates or a Cincinnati Reds or Milwaukee Brewers, whoever it is, just win 81-81 or 74-88 or 76-86 or even 68-94 pretty much every freaking year, the owners of that franchise are going to make money. Even if they're going to get revenue sharing, those are organizations that are going to get revenue sharing, so they're going to come up in the black, right? Every year because of revenue, because of teams like the Mets and the Red Sox and the Dodgers and clubs like that, the elites are going to support the rest of the league. And when they go to sell that franchise, they're going to make millions, if not billions. I mean, I'm closest to Seattle, so I'll use them as an example. That current group, First Avenue Entertainment, officially bought that club for about $1.1 million in August of 2016. The Forbes number on that franchise right now, the franchise value estimate, is more than twice that. It's about $2.4 billion now. They could turn around and sell and make over $1 billion, $1.3 billion today, plus all the money they're pocketing. And again, I'm not trying to pick on Seattle. That's the way the system works these days. I don't know what you do about that.
Look, I don't want to get into how I know this, because I want to keep the information of where I got it from, private, but certainly there's only a few clubs that run at a profit. Okay. The Astros run at a profit.
Without the revenue sharing, you mean?
Yes. The Astros run at a profit. Okay. The Mariners, don't know, maybe, but I do know the Astros run at a profit. And you can tell that Jim Crane, from a business standpoint, is very interested in running at a profit, because he's not getting anywhere near or going over that luxury tax. It's just not happening. Right. When it comes to the Mariners and other clubs, I think people get upset, and correct me if I'm wrong, but, having been in those rooms and having had the conversations you guys are aware that we've had, and some we've talked about on air, when you don't pour the dollars into the team to win, right? Nobody cares if you're making money. Making money is part of business. Nobody wants to lose money, right? And I can tell you as a business owner that having what's yours not show up is a very uncomfortable and not fun feeling, right? What I can also tell you, though, is that I try to pour things here into the people that are here to get to the bigger finish line. And so if you're an owner of a big league club, that's what you really should be doing. At least that's the concept of trying to win. Now, this wave of owners, some embrace that. The guy in Philly, John Middleton, right? He embraces that. The Steinbrenners, before they embraced that, they're starting to get back to that now. Have they had some really odd, let's say, investments that haven't worked out? Sure, but they've embraced that. The Dodgers, clearly, the Giants are trying. The Rangers do it. They have, no matter who the owner is. So there's clubs out there that do it, right? And then there's clubs that don't. But to do that and not invest money, then you better draft well. And if you don't draft well, I'll give you an example of a club that has drafted well for decades. It's the Minnesota Twins. They've drafted well for decades, and they're always showing up as being good, and they will go out and get a piece of it over the top. So if you're not going to go ahead and pour it into the big league club, you still got to put a winning product on the field. As long as you put a winning product on the field, nobody's watching your books. Nobody cares. Nobody's asking what's going on, but you got to win. And if you're not going to do that, and you're just going to come up just short every year, you're going to upset some people, and rightfully so.